Good evening, everybody, and welcome to First Generation Dad, the season 2 finale. Oh, I can't believe we made it. With me is my co-host and partner in crime for the entire season this year, Will Morgan. Welcome, buddy. How's your day going?
How you doing, man? Glad to be here. What's going on with you?
Man, not a whole lot. Just excited that we made it through a second season. I was counting last night. We did more than double what I did last year. Which I'm sure everybody appreciates that I chose to eventually shut up with that last season and start my longing search for what would become the ageless wonder that is you. And so I want to start off the episode by first thanking you, seriously, because this season would not have been as good as it was without you. And, hey, what's up, Pun? Thank you for joining us. Pun was actually going to be our special guest tonight, but unfortunately she lost a fight with a Yellow Jacket this morning, as we all can. You know, they're assholes. So she is going to be lurking in the comments and hanging out. She'll probably be throwing some stuff out when we get to dad jokes. Definitely wish Pun well. Going to be having a lot of Benadryl, so just get some rest and stay hydrated. Seriously,
I'm gonna find that Yellow Jacket. Don't worry about
it.
Yellow Jacket gonna get what's coming to him. Trust, believe.
Yellow Jackets are strong, but they can't take out the Punisher.
That's right.
But it's this season would not be what it's been without you. And I genuinely appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
And for supporting this and helping me expand what I've been doing. You were a part of this vision, even though we didn't know each other yet. So thank you for being here, man.
I appreciate it. I've had a fun time here. I have a good time. Dad jokes, talking about relationship issues, talking about our kids, seeing them get better. And, in my little palatial estates here in Georgia. You see my piano there?
Man,
look at that.
You gotta spend more time on that piano. You'll probably calm down your mind a little bit. Although, I mean, that's probably what keeps you ageless is you spend hours just hammering away at the ivories.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But man, the second thanks I want to give tonight as we kick this off is our wonderful producer that's sitting in the back right now, Kay. Kay, you and Josh both have been a huge help to me this year in calming my nerves as I explored this, as I expanded this. So thank you both for your support. You specifically, I know you're going to be joining us for our topic tonight. And there's Karma. What man doesn't love a little pussy? But
the mascot.
Perfect timing for her to come.
Perfect timing.
To grace us. Yes, of course. I've had so much fun with you guys. This has been a lot of fun, seriously.
Thank you. It's been great to have you. It's nice to have the female perspective on the show. Somebody's got to keep he and I in line, and you've done a great job at that.
I'll do dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I will be retiring both of your jersey numbers for this. I appreciate it. By the way, you have jersey numbers 1 and 2. Josh gets 3 because, he's lame and an Astros fan. But
valid.
No, but thank you guys so much for your support this year. But since you and our topic tonight, we talk a lot about the kids, but one of the most important things about being happy as an adult is taking care of your relationship. It is important to both be a parent to your child, but also be a partner in your relationship, because that relationship, the goal is obviously for that to be there after the child has grown up and moved on out of their home. And so while it's important to take care of your mind, it's important to take care of your kids, it's also important to be a good partner. And God knows I've made so many mistakes in that department. And so I figured tonight would be a good thing to talk about some of the most commonly searched relationship advice questions and our answers to them. My goal is that people would submit questions so that we can throw stuff out through Facebook posts in the future. And then when we start season 3, which will probably be Spring break time next year, once football's over, NBA finals are over, things have settled down a little bit more. We'll fire it back up. But we want to start getting that user, the listener input too, because we do want to hear from you guys as well. And please share this. I would love to get more interaction on Facebook and grow the base so that we can expand this show, and really start to help people. That's definitely my goal. I'm not expecting to get rich off this show. I just want to help people. But all right, so tonight for the relationship, some of the most top source relationship questions. And Kay, if you want to join us on this one, because I think we'll get some good perspective from you on the young side as well.
Got me eating some burrito.
I'm gonna.
My girl Linda's here. Hey, Linda.
Hi, Linda. Thank you for joining us.
What's going on?
You've been with us for all of the second season, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, Linda.
All right, so I'll ask Will while Kay finishes eating. So when the top 10. So I found 10. One of the top 10. It was, what does a healthy relationship look like? So when you think about that, what does a healthy relationship look like to you?
Being open on both sides. Being open and accepting of your partner, despite any flaws, despite anything that goes down. Because once you get into a relationship with your partner, particularly if you're married, I'm not talking about just living together. I'm not talking about shacking or anything like that. I mean, when you're married, I think that's the ultimate right there. That I believe there's really no take back on that. Yes, I am divorced, but I don't believe there's any take back on that. Once you're there for the long haul, and you have to accept that other person's good and bad. If that's something that you can't do, and then you don't need to marry that person or be with that person. And that's how I feel. Now, I know Kay's situation a little bit different, but
no, that's what I was saying before, is that I do get to offer a not married, don't have kids, and just moved out perspective.
I just think there have to be open and accepting of your partner. You can do that, you're good to go. If you can't do that, if you're there for the wrong reasons, don't do it.
I actually agree with you on that one, though. And I'll just steamroll over here with my little bit on that. Specifically, I completely agree with them being open with each other. And that means a lot to me personally, that, Tyler's accepting of my weird ass and vice versa. And honestly, it's nice to have someone that you can talk to about like anything, like genuinely somebody that you can call your best friend. Like it's not something that you can appreciate until you're kind of in that situation. You hear it, but then you don't really understand until you're there. And you're like, now I understand why all the other ones didn't work.
Yeah.
It wasn't this. Yeah. So I agree. Being open and honest and being able to listen to each other. That's a huge thing.
You have to have that communication, because if that communication isn't there, it's not going to work.
Absolutely. For me on this, no, and that's honestly, that's the key thing for me is communication. So, I grew up in a church family, and so that's always been kind of a thing that my wife and I reference back and forth. We grew up in the same church. We've known each other since we were kids. So it's just something that we've kind of used as a central point to help us refocus when we need it. And there was a Bible study, if you will, called The Love Dare. It was one of the central plot points. There's a movie Kirk Cameron did called Fireproof. Movie is extremely weird. I don't recommend it. A lot of people say it was great. It's weird. It's overacted. Kirk Cameron is not the Growing Pains kid anymore. It's not for me. I say that as a Christian. I'm sorry. But one of the Love Dare, for all of the faith stuff in it, there was a few key points that were in that I think were crucial, and it helped Amber and I get back to a point where we were in a healthy relationship. And one of the main things that it talked about was, holding one of the main pieces was holding your tongue. The first day, so with the Love Dare, it gives you a new challenge every day. And you add the challenge from the day before to where you're stacking all of these different things. Day one is don't argue with your partner. And when you're struggling in a relationship, that's really hard. And so it kind of just builds, and you start to develop habits, and you start to communicate better, and you start to listen. and listening to understand, not just listening to respond, and the importance of listening to understand. And it really, for all of the flaws that it has, and I will say it's definitely flawed, it's not perfect, the movie or the study, but the key things that it focused on being listening to understand and holding your tongue if you don't have anything nice to say, like reinforcing those habits, it makes a huge difference and it really helps.
Yeah, no, I understand entirely, because historically, I guess arguments was usually a telltale sign. I guess everyone kind of feels that way. It starts to get worse and worse and all that. And I mean, bickering with your significant other, you're going to disagree. Right. And I think if it's just something that you guys can some people need to calm down, and I get that, walking away, not talking about it right then, but I feel like within a reasonable amount of time, you should both want to hash it out, right? Or at least be like, okay, we're not mad at each other. If you aren't doing that, then there's something needs to change, right? Because
no, you're exactly right, and I think so. That one of the interesting and there was a rule that Amber and I have. And it kind of coincides with that don't go to bed angry thing that everybody talks about, but we take it a step further. She can't make me sleep on the couch. I can't make her sleep on the couch. If you're mad at that person and you don't want to sleep next to him, you take your ass out to the couch.
I like
fair.
And
I've never even thought about wanting to kick him out. I think I have slept on the couch myself, and I don't even know if I was really mad at him or if I was just mad in general and didn't want to be around him. Yeah.
And I think because the main focus is just around, taking time to think about your emotion and what it's really about. Like, is it worth having to sleep on that couch? I'm poor. I don't have a comfortable couch. I can get over a lot of stuff to not have to sleep on that couch. Like, the bar is pretty high, or I guess really low for where that's at. But it's important to set goals and boundaries to the rules that you have in your relationship so that it stays healthy. Because then you're able to go through anything without problem. Financial stress, friend issues, social issues, political issues. You can navigate any problem as long as there's communication.
Yeah. No, I think that's a big one.
All right. So before we dive in, I'll throw out another topic here on the relationship questions. Let's go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we'll be right back at it. Stick with us right here on First Generation Dad. Welcome back, and thank you for sticking with us. That first commercial was for Really Good Podcast, which airs every other Tuesday right here on Pinfall at 10 Eastern, featuring our wonderful, amazing producer down there. Her name is Kay. She's fantastic. And Josh, he's a person too. Going into all things movie and TV related. They have some great convo. It's one of my favorite things to watch during the week. Man, Will's gonna go on strike if he doesn't get a show with Kay or Pun soon. Like, it's gonna happen.
Listen, it's gonna be all three of us together. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be the penultimate show.
That's right. That's right.
And that second commercial was for now I forgot what it was.
Pinfall Podcast.
Pinfall Podcast, which airs Sunday nights right here on Pinfall at 10 Eastern, featuring Will and Josh diving into all things wrestling related. Lots of good convo, especially with everything that's been going on in the wrestling world. Quick note, There was some news today that Daphne, wrestler Daphne, was found dead. So rest in peace to her, wrestling fans. I'm thinking of you guys. Real quick on that, it seems like it was some mental health issues that led to her passing. So real quick to any of you guys, if you're struggling with suicide, please talk to somebody, message me, message Will. The suicide hotline is 800-273-TALK. That's 800-273-8255. Talk to somebody. I'd rather listen to your story for an hour than read your obituary. And I mean that genuinely for anybody. So please, if you need help, get it. It's okay. And also thank you to Raise Energy and repsports.com for sponsoring Pitfall Podcast. Use the discount code GGN10 on their website for a 15% discount off your order. They have a new flavor that they just announced. So I released a white peach. It looks really, really good. They also have great supplements. Like if you're a weightlifter trying to, get the best out of it, the pre-workout and post-workout stuff, they have great deals on it. 15% off of that stuff. It can sometimes get pricey. You can save, and it supports pinfall. So please check it out if that's your thing. All right. So let's dive back into these
real quick. Dad episode with really good. The next episode since we.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. No. And also, is it this next week that we're doing that, or is it the following week?
Following week.
Yeah.
Okay.
My Tuesdays mixed up.
Following week. Mm-hmm.
Not this next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, we will be doing a crossover episode with the next episode of Really Good Podcast. We'll be talking about favorite TV dads. That's going to be a great conversation. Like TV and movie dads, I can't wait for that because there's some good ones to talk about. Timmy Turner's dad being the best of all time.
There's a few that we could go through. We got to go through all kinds of categories of the dads too. Now, is it really? I feel like it's if it's not. Listen, y'all look at the schedule. It might be those are listening. It might be this coming Tuesday. I don't know. Pun. When did you do drop the mic? Let us know. Help.
If y'all don't vote for Peter Griffin in that thing, y'all messed up. Peter Griffin is the greatest father of all time.
Oh my goodness. The greatest example of what not to do while still being there for your kid.
Lois.
I don't know. Jerry from Rick and Morty kind of falls into that.
So drop the mic. Okay, so drop the mic is this week, so it is next week. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
We were right first time. Yeah.
So
okay, so definitely check that out and support it. We will be having some good convo. I love that show. All right, so let's dive back into this relationship question because this is some good stuff,
Yeah, Pun has actually a good question.
Yeah.
What's that?
What do you guys feel is your toxic trait when it comes to relationships, and how have you worked to overcome it?
Shoot, my doggone problem is the minute a chick says something that's out of line or wrong to me, it shuts me down. I don't say anything. I just say, because look, I'm the type of dude. I'm not gonna argue with anybody. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let you calm down. Do whatever you got to do. When I see that you're calm down and ready to go, then I'll come back and talk to you. I used to argue. I don't do that anymore. Because it's pointless to me. It's pointless. Right. Arguing is pointless because no one gets their point across. But when you take your time to sit down and hear the other person's point of view, then things starts coming into focus, making sense, and then you can discuss it and come to a resolution. Arguments without resolution is stupid. And that's right. It took me a while to get to that point, but because it's not worth arguing with your significant other. It's just not worth it.
If you've gotten to the point where you're arguing, you've already lost.
Yep.
Right. That's the thing is I don't argue either. I refuse. I absolutely refuse because especially with my anxiety issues, I can't be around a bunch of yelling. It sets me off, and that's not good for anybody, regardless of what my reaction is. So, go ahead.
And you know what? Ended me? What it took me to learn. Me and my ex-wife now got into an argument, and I messed up. I took all my anger and called her the B word. 6 months later, divorce. So that's a lesson that I will never ever forget. If I would just calm down, turned around. An hour, 2 hours, heck, 30 minutes.
Yep.
and then actually got the rationale where she was coming from, then I might still be with her. That was the lesson that turned me around, and I don't want to see anybody else do that.
No,
it's amazing how like different it is for everyone too, right? Because that really shows how much you got to know your partner and like what things are going to trigger them, what you shouldn't do, because you never you won't know unless you know the individual. And know like what you definitely should not be doing, like what the utter disrespect or respect, right? Both ends of that would mean to that person. And if you feel like you need to cross that line, then yeah, probably, being able to learn to walk away. And that's really hard. And, so
and the thing
kudos to you for being able to do that now.
And the thing about it, take a blank sheet of paper, draw a circle around it. You could put all the good things around that circle, but once you make that bad decision, it's a dot within that circle, and that's all the person focuses on is that dot in that circle, and that it will never be erased. There's nothing you can do to get outside of that point. So, don't do it. Just don't argue.
In terms of toxic behavior, I am completely and well aware of my toxic things. I'm sure he'll hear Tyler snort in the other room. I guess it's a good thing that he's a counselor because he can help me through my problems. Probably my biggest issue is I have always had issues with anger, and I am worlds better than I was growing up. But I still tend to snap things out sometimes. I will feel this rise of agitation, and I will kind of not be real super snarky for a long time, but one real strong burst, right? And that's one of the things I really appreciate about Tyler is because he does not take it for anything beyond the fact that half the time he doesn't even realize I've done it. I don't know how, but I'm in my mind, I was like, man, I was feeling rude in my mind. I don't know how you didn't get that vibe going across. I mean, I'm sorry, but so I appreciate that so much about him that doesn't, he can look through that and see that that's not actually me really being mad. I'm not actually angry. I'm not really whatever. It's just one of my little glitches that I'm trying to, work through at that point in time. And yeah, I mean, there's some things that I've had to work through over the years. And one of the things was, I used to be a yeller for arguing about stuff, but now I can't say that I tend to back down from an argument. However, I do try to remain calm. So at least that way there's not as much anger. It's just more of a passionate discussion.
There's nothing wrong with it being passionate, especially when and there's times when it may be a little passionate, especially if you're very rooted in your opinion or whatever the discussion is.
Right.
But if you get to a point where you're angry and you're yelling, you're not listening.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
And it goes back to what I said earlier. If you're not listening to understand, you're not listening.
Right.
No active listening skills can be used when you're upset and have an attitude.
Absolutely. Exactly. My toxic trait is my how chill I am. And I understand that it looks like, I have a lot of energy when we're doing this stuff, but when I'm not doing this stuff, I'm definitely very, very chill, and it is to the point where I get distracted, I forget shit. Amber needs me to do laundry and I forget.
Oh my God, Tyler! Oh my!
I was supposed to make dinner and I forget. And it's not just me and her that I'm not feeding. I've got a kid that I got to oh shoot, let me pour ramen down your throat at 9 p.m. and throw you in your bedroom. No, we all make mistakes as parents. Don't judge me, man.
Careful, okay? He in the chat.
No, he is.
He's in the chat.
You don't know how many. I'm gonna just one example. Porch light. You don't know how many times I've asked this motherfucker to turn the porch light off after he's the one that turns off. You know what made him finally start doing it? I made him, like a parent, walk over there and turn it off himself. I said, you marked over there and you turn that off. And he's kind of gotten it into his head now to do that. But that was the one thing. I was like, why is this light on?
I am shocked. I am shocked, Kay. I am shocked. Oh my gosh, as nice and sweet as you are. Oh my gosh.
Listen,
I am amazingly shocked.
I have to. If one of the things that
gosh.
any family member or Tyler in the chat can tell you, if I have to repeat myself more than once, I will have an attitude about it, and that's something that's been since I was a toddler. I don't know. I cannot handle. My mind starts to shut off, and I'm just like, what did I say? She can be ruthless. That look.
Well, that's your sister.
That's
so I
another
think
toxic
she can be a
thing,
little
right?
biased. I think she's a little biased in that regard. She's seen a little bit more of you than most of us get.
Hey, listen. So that's what the medication is for, right? And in all seriousness, if anybody ever questions getting like therapy or any kind of medication to help with any issues like that, they're just like, no, I don't know if it'll help. Blah blah. I'm telling you, it doesn't hurt to try. It doesn't, because you'll be amazed at some of the differences it can make in some of the smallest ways, but really impactful. So yeah, I have it more under control now.
Katie Ritalin or something. I don't know what the heck she
start beating people up.
Ritalin was one of the things that helped me work on my toxic traits, because I'm actually more engaged in my shit now. As long as I'm taking my medicine, I get a lot more of my stuff done than I'm supposed to.
It's like watching YouTube. It's like a different opposite of each other, and that's what makes this whole conversation unique. Because you got one dude who is very energetic, and doesn't really look for conflict, whereas when Kate gets mad and she gets upset, that's what she go for. She goes straight for the conflict.
I said, listen, I don't even mean to. And not to be like all zodiac-y about it, but I can't deny the fact that I am a Gemini. And I think that's where a lot of that comes from.
I was going to ask because I had a feeling. I was actually trying to get that question because I thought that's where it was going.
Makes sense now. Mom weighs in. Hold up now.
Right. Can be a little bit pricklish. You know what? I'll take it. That's the nicest way you could put that, right? That shows, and I appreciate that you guys for saying that. I have put so much effort into growing as a person, because I mean, there's some rough spots in my youth. I had to get past.
But I will say this: since I've known Kay, I've never seen her get mad.
I've never seen it.
I was going to say, never seen it.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, that's why it's off the camera, please. That's why it's off the entire time, as I'm just fuming back here. God.
Okay,
but no, I do appreciate that, guys. But definitely, again, therapy and medication, guys, that stuff helps.
Absolutely. No, it made a huge difference for me. And I will say, Kate, for you getting better, like, that's an important piece of it, is you have to be willing to, when it comes to being in a healthy relationship, you've got to be willing to work on yourself.
Yes.
It's not just about the fact of being willing to accept each version of that person that they become as they get older. You've got to be willing to work on and grow yourself as well, and be something that they're willing to accept. That's why 50% of marriages end in divorce. It's not necessarily because one person's horrible and one person is just completely perfect. It's because they grew, but they didn't grow together. One went this way, one went this way.
Right.
Yeah.
You go separate.
This ain't the YMCA.
Right. You go your separate paths, and that's messed up. And it changes, particularly if you have kids. I feel because of the animal. Because me and my look, full disclosure, me and my ex-wife, we ain't exactly friends, and that hurts in the raising of our kids, because when it comes down to talk or whatnot, I don't even want nothing to do with you. I don't even want to rile you. I just want to do my thing, raise the kids on my end, and be done. And I know I gotta get better about that within myself, because it hurts my kids down in the long run.
I will say, one of the things that my mom did really well in my situation was she never spoke down about my father. Now, I can say as an adult confidently, after multiple experiences with that nutsack, that he's a human piece of shit. But that's because of experience, not because of any influence by her. She let me make up my mind.
Right.
And, it was all the times he let me down, all the lies that he told me, all the manipulation that made me come to that realization. if your partner is legitimately that much of a problem, the last thing you should be doing is bad mouthing that to your kids, because your kids won't see it. They're going to hear what you're saying, not see what she's doing. Actions speak louder than words. Let those actions speak for themselves if that's really the thing.
Yes, sir.
Because they'll get it eventually. But when you know, when you focus on what's best for your child, you start to see in a different light. Like, I don't like living in Arizona. I will be 100% honest. I do not like living in Arizona. I would much rather be in the Midwest. It's a lot more fun. It's a lot quieter. Weather isn't quite as hot. I hate the heat with a passion. I'm in the Satan's butthole of America. And to, you know, but because there are more resources for him here, especially with the issues that he has, it's better to be here. You know, financially, we're better off here than where I would want, you know, than what I would want to be in the Midwest. And so until I can change that, you know, it's what's for the best. You can't be selfish and be a parent.
Right.
I mean, you can.
Well, yeah, I guess
it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well.
No, a few parents like that. You know,
yeah.
Seems like it's you know, it's kind of hard to throw a rock and not hit a parent that should maybe be looking at their techniques a little more closely. It's a little bit.
Word. All right. So let's take that second break. When we come back, we'll probably talk about a couple more things, and then we're going to spend a lot of time on dad jokes today.
Yes.
Because I think Will needs it. You know, that's what keeps him young. We got to get more laugh lines, less age lines. You know what I'm saying?
Me and that piano back there keep me young. There you go.
All right, old word Cullen. Let's go to break here, okay?
Taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
No one pulls up like we do. No one does us like we do. Always go hard with this crew. Welcome to the show, let's make moves. Nothing's gonna stop us, it's not to get rough. Turn the whole room up, it's never enough. Let's go, 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 let's go.
All right, and thank you for sticking with us right here on Pinfall with First Generation Dad Podcast. That first commercial was for Drop the Mic, which airs every other Tuesday, opposite Really Good Podcast, so it will air this next Tuesday. Drop the Mic goes into all things music related, some great conversation there, stuff you haven't heard of that maybe you should check out, stuff that we enjoy, nostalgia, it's always good conversation. And then the second podcast is part of our Monday night lineup here on Pinfall that is all sports related. The Sports Report is hosted by my co-host, Will, features me, my buddy Dirty Dan, and the basketball aficionado himself, Mr. Tony C. You can check out his YouTube channel. Let me hold some. He's a pretty cool dude. It's the weirdest fucking name, man. And of course, thanks to Rep Sports for sponsoring Pinfall. That GGN10 discount code saves you 15% on their website. Check it out. All right, so I saw one of the questions here when I was looking this topic up about, I was looking up the relationship questions. And one of the top 10 questions, I believe it's number 4, was how do you know when your relationship is over? What do you think? Kay, he had the last one. What do you think about that one?
Yeah,
you know what?
You can tell that easy.
I remember thinking about this very specific thing a few times because like it seems to hit again, and it's probably different for each person, but you start to notice a pattern with yourself, right? It's like you start to realize, and it seemed like for me, it was usually about 4 months. And and of course I kept trying for like however long after that, but you could I could tell that something would shift, right? It would be like the after the glitter phase, which I mean, even in the best relationship, it's never as, it's
The honeymoon
you get
phase
used
doesn't
to
last
stuff.
forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it happens.
But
it's okay.
it doesn't have this abrupt shift. It's more of like you're more comfortable as opposed to just being like, I'm no longer having fun or something like that, right? And I think it's just when you start to, I remember what it was. When my happiest time around them was when they were asleep. That's what I do in a relationship with that. Yeah.
Oh my god. That's the greatest answer ever. I love it.
Bloody.
Oh my god.
Like seriously, if you can look when you look at them and you have a smile on your face and you realize the only time is when they're asleep, that's when you know you need them.
Hey, Tyler, my brother. Tyler, my brother, you better take notes, my brother. You better take notes of all this.
He's gonna start sleeping with one eye open and see what I'm doing.
Oh god. Look, man, I gotta play for you to stay, but you just gotta come down to Georgia or something go down. Man. To me, and I can't speak for every dude, but to me, when a wife pass by you with the nightie on and you don't do nothing, it's over.
No ass smack, no nothing.
That's like a rule. Like it's gotta be. Like you gotta do something. Grab the ass, tap the boob a little bit. Like you gotta do something.
It's over. If you don't
show appreciation to Poncho and Lefty, give him a little love. I mean, do something.
Let's say I'm doing sports report and my wife come in with a nightie on. If I don't take my headset off and go do something, it's over. It's over. That thing's over. It's done. It's done. So if me and Tony C talking about the hardwood and she passed by, that's it. If I keep that conversation going and she done walked out the door, it's over. That's it, cuz. It's done. It's done. It's done. I don't care who it is. It could be Scarlett Johansson. It could be Scarlett Johansson for all I care. If she walk past you with a nightie on and you don't do nothing, the thing done. It's done.
Okay, hold on. If she's not forgiving if it's Scarlett Johansson, then I'm sorry. Like, there's a line for me. Like, there's got to be, like, the list of 5. Like, come on. Like, she's on, like, pretty much everybody's, even most women at this point. So
look, but I've been saying, though, if you're in a relationship and the passion gone,
you're right, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
No, you're exactly right.
No matter who they are, no matter who they look like. If you don't got the passion, done.
There's an interesting thing. There's an interesting thing on that. Steve Harvey did a series through his talk show where he challenged couples to have sex every day for 30 days. If you get some time, go onto YouTube and watch the videos on this and the conversations that they had through his show, and just the change in connection, because it's like I can understand that there can be stressful stuff and it can be difficult, but the thing to understand is that physical connection, that time, is very important for a relationship, and the connection that it reinforces. And so, keeping that passion alive, even if it's not with sex, and I understand this. We get older, it becomes a little bit more difficult because you got back pain and hip pain, and aspirin's fucking expensive. So
you don't carried your kids on your back for 18 plus years.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's and I get that, but things that can ignite that passion, doing little things together. Like today, Amber and I did a date in the middle of the day. We both took today off, and we went to the casino for a couple hours. We had lunch. That's all we did. I mean, it was just a weird way to spend $120 on the date during the day instead of at night. Because if we go on a date in the evening, we come home, we go to bed because we're exhausted because we're fucking old.
I don't want to hear about the getting exhausted because you're fucking old. You get exhausted at any age now. That's just the way of the world. Okay, I was just trying to think about penciling sex in 30 times in a month, and I was just I was sweating thinking about it. I was like, oh my god, I'm really gonna have to write this shit down and like break it down.
Bro, she right. It's hot out that though. It's hot out that though. She right.
It is tough. And so it's a very interesting thing to watch, though. And I have a lot of respect for Steve Harvey. He's a pretty honest and humble dude, and he has a pretty humorous way about approaching and in the way that he does things. But so I definitely personally recommend it. For me, when I know it's over, it's very simple. If you're asking that question, you need to look at yourself and you need to go, okay, why are you asking this question? What are the things that are making you ask that question? When do you know it's over? Okay. And then you got to look at, okay, is it fixable or is it not? Is it fixable? Okay, let's talk. Is it not? Okay, you should still be talking to that person. Be like, hey, I'm not sure that this is right. Because the longer that you sit on that, the more of a problem it becomes. A breakup is hard enough. There's no point in making it worse and throwing gas on the fire by letting it linger and letting it fester.
No, here's the thing that killed me. Here's the thing that killed me. You don't broke up. You done got your own place. You're doing your own thing. Then they call you about 5 days later after the breakup. Can we be friends? Hell no, you can't be no friend.
I attempted that, and that has never worked. It's truly never worked. Like, even on a not bad, the best interaction I've had is one that I guess I was with the longest, and I truly didn't hate at the end of it. But even that, like, I've talked to him like 3 times. It doesn't work. It's so weird and awkward and uncomfortable. I'd love if that was an option, but it's not worked for me so far.
I just want you to be able. I just want to be able. When I see you at the mall, you don't get weird and you speak to me and you respect me,
No.
Like that, nah.
I will say my dad and his, like, my biological dad and his my brother's mom, they did stay friends for the kids, but they also genuinely stayed friends. Like they were, each other's best friends.
I've
like
seen
they
it work,
been, right?
Yeah.
So it can.
It's like my one of my son's friends, the one that came out to visit. We went to the baseball game about a month ago. Like the father of that kid and the mother, like they're not together anymore. He lives in Texas. She lives in Pennsylvania. But they're texting back and forth every day, exchanging picture of the kids, who's got them, like, good conversation. They joke with each other. He's friends with her husband. Like it's a healthy friendship, and it's hard. You have to want to make it work. But sorry, goddamn. I moved my mic and I'm getting used to the new position. I apologize. But yeah, it's difficult to make it work at that.
But it's something that you can't force on someone either.
Right.
No, absolutely not.
That's important.
You have to both want to.
Right. She tried to do that to me, and I just said no, because when you coming off as married as long as we were, close to 16 years, you know me too well. Nah, you use all that as a weapon against a brother. Nah, I'm good.
You know what? That's a different story, because I guess that's most of the time it has been. I don't know how long the friend that you're referring to, how long they were together, but I guess it was not nearly that long for my dad and Monica. So like that might have a big factor into it. Yeah, you become too familiar. Like, how do you extract from that? Like it would be really hard, because that's like all you know with that person for that amount of time.
Right.
It's like, because I can joke about this a little bit, but let's be honest here. Like, you've seen that person naked. It changes the dynamic of the relationship.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, it does. It's because, like, no matter what, like, you can look at that person and be like, I know what's under those clothes. Like, even 10 years down the road, like, you still have a general idea what's under those clothes. Like, at least
then you start wondering. Like, I would get curious too. I'd be like, how's it changed? It's been 10 years.
Exactly. And then your mind is exactly. See?
Okay. I don't want none of that. Nah. I'm gonna let the new husband take care of that.
So
my only responsibility than kids. Past that, it's the rest on him. Man, you can't be like that.
I'm friends with not all of the women that I've dated, but I'm still at least like Facebook friends, check on each other's kids, send them gifts, like and stuff like that. Because some of them, like, the importance of being friends with the person you're in a relationship with is crucial. A lot of the girls that I dated in like high school and right after high school, goddamn cameras. A lot of the girls that I dated in high school and college, like, I was legitimately friends with before we started. I wasn't the type of guy that picked up a chick at a party and then we just started dating because we had a good night and, good morning. Like, really? No, I struggle to talk to myself sometimes. I can't pick up chicks at a party. And I think that's where the dynamic changes, is because the foundation of the friendship was already there. So yes, for the ones that I dated that I slept with, yeah, I saw them naked, but like, I just don't look at their pictures on Facebook and only read the ones with just words. Like, that's.
I just can't. It's just something in me, and I know it's something that I'm gonna have to address somewhere down the road. But I just can't, because that's the side of yourself that's vulnerable, and that's the most vulnerable. And once you close the relationship off for me, I close you out. And I shouldn't be like that. I know that, but
Well,
Some
not
people, that's just the way that they
necessarily.
are. No, it's
and like you as you know that you are, right? So you're not going to lead anybody on. You're not going to be like,
Exactly.
oh yeah, let's be friends, and then not talk to them and make them feel weird about it. Like you know yourself, and you can be as respectful as you need to be, and just be like, listen, I'm like, just be honest, and like you are.
There's nothing wrong with boundaries, and you decided that's a boundary for you. I'm going to shove that microphone. Oh my god! I'm gonna move over here a little bit. But no, you have those boundaries. Boundaries are healthy. That's not a bad thing. What something that bothers me doesn't bother you. Something that bothers Kay doesn't bother either one of us. Like if somebody looked up my dress, I just laughed at it. She would probably have a problem with it if she's wearing a dress and somebody tried to look up her dress.
Well, so you don't know me very well. I'd probably laugh and then kick up, but I'd probably laugh real good, depending on how craftily they went about it. You see a little mirror or something on a little stick or whatever, I'd giggle real hard.
One of those dentist mirrors on a real long stick, just like I can see something that's pink. Oh my god!
And then after Kay gets that good laugh, she smacks you in the face.
Yeah, I gotta have the final say.
I mean, that's just at that point, it's deserved. Yeah. But no, okay. So let's go ahead and take our final break, and then we are going to laugh our dads off.
Oh, that's adorable! I gotta remember that one.
Yes. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us as we wrap up season 2 of First Generation Dad, right here on Pinfall Network. And of course, big thanks to Race for sponsoring Pinfall. Make sure to check out their website, repsports.com. Get a 15% discount using the code GGN10 on all their website, including not just the new White Peach energy drink, but also all of their workout products. That second commercial was for Geek Gauntlet, which airs live on Twitch on Saturday night is that 10 Eastern as well? I can never remember. 10 Eastern as well. Mm-hmm. And then shows up on the Pinfall stream page on Tuesday morning. Yep. That features Will and Shaw going into all things geek related. A lot of good convo. Man, I loved watching you talk about Spider-Man. That was good. You, on the other hand, I don't like you. But when it comes to Spider-Man, we were talking about this. But I like you. I like what you said.
Listen, I refuse to take that because it's a blanket. You should not like me in terms of all superheroes, okay?
No, no.
Hey,
The other
Jeremy,
ones,
what's up, man?
the other ones like is Deadpool and Spider-Man, the ones you can't touch. The other ones I don't care about. Deadpool and Spider-Man, the ones you can't touch.
I mean, I enjoy Deadpool, but I also love Ryan Reynolds so much. Like,
I would
so
go gay
much.
for him. I can't blame you. Like one bit.
Oh my God, first of all, he's pretty cute, but it's that smile and that sense of humor, man. Tyler, avert
so
your
good.
ears. He is.
Oh goodness.
Okay,
all right. And then that last commercial was for and then the second commercial was for Sports Report After Dark, which airs after the Sports Report on Monday nights. That features me and Dan breaking down a little bit more into the sports world, talking about the human side, really getting into talking about it. That's Mondays at 11:30 Eastern. And then Double XP airs on Wednesdays at 8 Eastern right here on Pinfall. That features the fabulous Beneath Me as my producer, not as anything weird, Kay, and her sister Pun, as they get into all things game related and have a lot of good conversation. Definitely check that out. 8 Eastern on Wednesdays right here on Pinfall.
Y'all come out, watch my girl Pun do Punisher's Pun.
Seriously.
You can't get through your week without Punisher's Pun. I'm telling
and
you.
Except for when the power's out for 5 hours.
Yeah,
have it on, but hey.
Got to see Punisher's Pun.
It's not fair.
You know what? Because of that, she should give us an extra pun. I'm just saying.
You know what? That's actually fair. She could give us 2 puns.
Yeah,
she should. Yeah, I support that.
Too.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to point out something that Pun said really quick before we dive into dad jokes. So I want to think, as she said, I think one of the most crucial points in any relationship is to know yourself first. When you know how to treat yourself, you don't take crap from nobody ever again. And that is completely 100% true. And that goes back to boundaries. Set your boundaries and don't bend on them. You have them for a reason. It's okay. Don't feel bad about that. But all right. So with that being said, for the final side in 2021, let's tell some dad jokes.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh no!
What?
What
happened to Will?
I promise that wasn't me this time. I did do that to Tyler, but I was a hands-off. Okay, there we go. Oh, that was my bad. Here, go ahead. Hands off. I'm not touching nothing. Bring yourself back in.
God.
There we go.
That's craziness.
All right. Wait a minute. Hold on.
How do you make a Kleenex dance? You put a little boogie in it. But I love it. What do you call someone who tells dad jokes but isn't a dad? A faux pas.
All right, my turn. I made a pencil with 2 erasers. It was pointless.
What are 2 janitors who live together called?
What?
Brewmates.
How can a leopard change his spots? By moving.
My wife calls me the drill because I'm boring.
I like that one. All right, my turn. Which is faster, hot or cold? Hot, because you can catch a cold.
Get out. So how did the phone propose to his girlfriend?
How?
He gave her a ring.
Oh my God.
Oh God, now you get out.
Oh my God.
Wait, stop. Pun. All right. I can say this one. Why do Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland always ask Tobey Maguire to drive? Because he's the best parallel parker.
I love it. My God.
What did one ocean say to the other ocean?
What?
Nothing. They just waved.
My wife asked me to go get 6 cans of Sprite from the grocery store. I realized when I got home I had picked 7 up.
Dang! Oh man, I'll call you later. Don't call me later. Call me dad.
How do you deal with a sad astronaut?
What?
Just give them some space.
Oh,
Aw.
Yes, I got the ground. I got the ground. Oh god.
Oh God, Pod's really letting him rip. I've combined a laxative and alphabet soup. I'm calling it letter rip.
Why didn't the melons get married? Didn't get married. Why did the melons didn't get married?
Why?
Because they can't cantaloupe.
Oh God. You guys both get the groans.
We got the groans.
What's the term for when a person dies and comes back as a hillbilly?
What?
Reincarnation.
Ah. Oh man.
Oh my god. I love
man.
it.
Have you guys tried the seafood yet? You seafood, then you eat it.
Have you heard that the Hulk is recycling? He's really going green.
Oh.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Can February March? But April, no. But April, May.
I finally got revenge on a friend for stealing one of my board games. They took a risk, but they don't have a clue.
That's good because Clue's the best.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I was going to tell a time traveling joke, but you didn't like it.
Oh god.
Oh man. What's Forrest Gump's favorite password?
What?
One, Forrest, one.
Oh, get out! Get out! Get out! Did you know that bees are actually allergic to pollen? They break out in hives.
Oh man. What kind of shoes does a lazy person wear? They wear loafers. Oh, Iron Man and Aluminum Man. Iron Man starts a band just for us. Oh man.
Oh god.
Oh, man.
Okay. What's the?
Can I
Go
dive
ahead.
in? Can I dive in this pool? It deep ends.
I was walking past a farm and a sign said duck, eggs. I thought that's an unnecessary comma, and then it hit me.
Dang. How do you make 7 even? You take away the S.
Wow, wait a second. That makes so much sense.
You're fired. You're no longer the host of Full Federation Dad. Get out. Get out. You're fired. God damn it. That's great.
Let me get one more in. Where do math teachers go on vacation? Times Square.
What's the longest word in the English language?
What?
Smiles. The first and last letters are a mile apart.
Oh man, I'm gonna miss.
Oh, that one actually works out really well.
Oh, come on, kid! Oh, what? No! Get out!
Oh, for the podcasters, the other day Tony asked me to stop saying his name backwards. I asked, why not?
Hey, I got a question. If 2 vegetarians get into an argument, is it still beef?
No, it's a tofu.
Everybody was tofu fighting.
Everybody was
fighting. Rest in peace, boiling water. You will be missed.
When I moved into my new igloo, my friends threw me a housewarming party. Now I'm homeless.
Dang. Look, y'all, everything I've done, I have a clean conscience. It's never been used.
The salesman at the furniture store told me this sofa will seat 5 people without any problems. And I said, where the hell am I going to find 5 people without any problems?
All I know is, look, I know dogs can't operate an MRI machine, but cats can.
2 spiders got married and bought their first home. I was so happy for the newlyweds.
Dang.
Oh, that was cute.
Dang. Dang. Oh,
what do you call a vegetarian with diarrhea? Salad shooter. Oh my god! Oh, that's good. Oh my god. Okay.
What did the police officer say to her belly button?
What?
You're under a vest. Oh man.
Oh, my face.
My wife has begged me to stop making police-related puns. I said, okay, I'll give it a rest.
Dang.
See what you did there.
All right.
Oh,
it is time.
man.
It is time to wrap up season 2.
Yes.
Pun, I am so sorry you couldn't join us on camera tonight. I hope you do feel better. Thank you for joining us in the comments, and everybody that joined us. Make sure to please share these episodes. Tell your friends about this. I really want to be able to get this out more and get this going. And please send us ideas for stuff we can talk about, content you want to see. I'm going to be doing some more stuff with baseball-related content here in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to start doing some more frequent videos on that going into October. And then also we've got some other stuff coming down the pipeline. We're going to be working on maybe some other shows and stuff. So definitely stick around.
Question, based on
yes.
tonight's episode, should you guys start a dating show, a dating advice show exclusively for that? Is that something, chat, should, if not them, should that be something that Pinball needs to look towards? It's dating advice. I don't know what clever name we could come up with that.
You know what we could do? We'll do like a blind date type show. It'll be a web based, and each picture for the person that the searching person can't see, we'll just use pictures of Josh with different hair colors. So it'd be like, instead of number 1, number 2, number 3, it'd be like red, blue, green, and we'll call it How to Date a Snow Cone.
Oh man. Hey, in all seriousness, I would love to do this just to see what traction I get. If y'all want to help me find a girl,
hey, you know what? This is what this show could be. It could be like The Bachelorette, but Bachelor, excuse me.
The Bachelor.
The wrong one. You were.
Does anybody know anyone else that's immortal that we can?
That'll be The Bachelorette.
Do we know anybody else that's immortal that we could invite on? Because
right, that's a good point.
The Bachelor of Pinfall.
The Bachelor of Pinfall. That's what we'll do.
I can see the coming.
Yes.
All right. So before we wrap up tonight, my fabulous producer Kay, do you have any final thoughts for us this evening?
Well, again, quick apologies to everyone about not having our episode last night on Double XP, but we will definitely be back Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and keep an eye out. I know I mentioned tournament stuff, but I've actually got it just about squared away. Willing to love. I love it. Thank you, Jeremy.
I love it.
Oh my God.
That's the one.
Oh God.
I will put myself out there. I will put
that's the
myself
title
out there. Yes.
Just for that. Just because now we got to use the title.
Yeah.
But no, we're going to have, instead of doing an Apex tournament, we're doing Splitgate since it's so popular right now. And I've got a flyer, but I'll go ahead and start pushing it now. We're shooting for the weekend of the 25th, 24th and 25th, that Friday and Saturday. We'll work things out from there. 7, Tony, whatever you go by on this show. I don't even know. It's a tech. I see Tony, but I just call you 7. I don't care.
It's fine.
There's 2 Tonys part of the network. That's why.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so... God, y'all are confusions and stuff. So why don't you just go by a singular letter? Look how easy. No kidding. But all right, in all seriousness, if you want to, let me know. Be in the tournament. Anybody who's listening, if you guys like video games or don't and just want to be in a tournament, let me know. Or Tyler or Punt or anyone. I don't care. Don't get it on with me. But yeah.
It don't matter.
Tournament. And there's prizes.
Yeah. Man, I've been having fun with Splitgate. Man, Shoddy Snipers mode, I will just get lost in that game mode. It is so amazing.
It's so much fun. I love that. I love the sniper. It really, honestly, I haven't played it for like 3 or 4 days, and I came back and everyone got better than me, and I was doing way not as well as I did. So I got to brush up on my skills for this tournament.
I lucked out. I was playing. I had missed a couple of days. I signed in last night. My first match was Team SWAT, and I went on a 13 kill streak. So I was like, you know what? All right. I'm all right with that. I mean,
I'm gonna have to get my raise. I'm gonna have to get my raise Shadow Legend skill up.
Yes, yes. You listen,
man. My son has a lot of fun with that game. He loves it.
I'm gonna get my skills back. I stopped playing it. I have to get it back up.
You got to. You got a reason to. You got fancy stuff. Will's got fancy stuff going on, guys.
Yeah. Fancy stuff, man. All right, Will, what do you got for me, buddy? Any final thoughts before we wrap up season 2?
Just remain true to who you are, true to yourself, treat your kids well, take care of yourself. Look, don't start no arguments. Don't be a part of any arguments because at the end of the day, it's not going to be fruitful and you're not going to get anything resolved.
Well said, my friend, and thank you so much again, both of you, for joining us this season. For my final thoughts, take care of your mental health, especially, I don't want any of my listeners to commit suicide. I don't want anybody to be struggling with that. But if you are, reach out to me. Reach out to the suicide hotline. Get some help. We want you here. It is not a weakness. Just like I say all the time, take care of your mental health. Spend time with your kids. Spend time with your partner. And we'll see you back next season right here on First Generation Dad. Have a good night.
Later, guys.
Bye.